Hey friends, it's so great to be back with you today. You know, it's been funny at our house because recently Nolan, my son, has been teasing me a little bit. And so I'll say things like, "Oh, bummer, I forgot that Chick-fil-A is closed on Sundays. Now I can't have my nuggets." Or, "This coffee is so good from Starbucks, but they really just didn't get it quite hot enough." So Nolan will look at me whenever I have one of these complaints like this, you know, one of these problems like this, and he'll go, "First world problem, Mom." And the funny thing is he's right. But what I've been reflecting on a lot lately is that most of my problems are first world problems. I mean, I have problems like everybody else. I deal with blips in my friendships. I deal with arguments in my marriage sometimes. I deal with parenting issues and all those kinds of things. But for the most part, they are first world problems. I don't wake up in the morning, every morning, wondering if I'll have something to eat that day. I don't panic that my husband is going to walk out on me and that I'll have nothing left to do except beg or something horrible like selling my body in prostitution. I don't worry about lots of things that most of the people in the world worry about. It's been really interesting to me because a friend of mine a couple weeks ago in a conversation pointed out to me that she sees a trend in the church. And it's something that's been happening in my own life, but I didn't see it as a piece of my story being a piece of something much bigger that God is doing in the church. But when we look at the books that are coming out that are really sweeping the church in America, that are really challenging our thinking and the way that we live, I started to see that trend too when she pointed it out. Books like Crazy Love and Radical, and a new book that's on its way from Amazon to me at the recommendation of my friend called Seven by Jen Hatmaker. And all of these books are really challenging us to take a look at our lifestyle, at the resources that we have, and how we use those resources. It's been almost a year since my trip to India. And I have to tell you that I'm still completely haunted by it. I'm haunted by the women's faces that were suffering from some of those third world problems that are not the problems that I have. I'm haunted by the faces of the women that inspired me, that are living sold out sacrificial lives. And I'm just haunted by the setting I was in and the stories that I heard. It has messed with my life in the best possible way. But I will have to tell you and just confess to you that I've been a little sick of myself. I share with my friend Carol that I'm sick of writing about all this and not doing anything about it. I mean, I've done some things. Definitely you've heard me talk a lot about sponsoring a child through Compassion Manuel, that we love, and we love that relationship and that sponsorship with him. But beyond that, I live a pretty ensconced life, ensconced in the church, ensconced in the place that I'm most comfortable with, the people who believe the way I believe and think the way I think and talk the way that I talk. Church people are my peeps. I fit there, I feel comfortable there, I love the people there. But more and more this year, I have felt drawn away from the church, away to do some things that are harder, that address third world problems, even right here in my own community. And so what I wanted to share with you is a change in this blog. I'll be blogging about once a week, probably video blogging some, writing some, and what I want to do is I am not in a season to teach. I'm just not, and I think that's part of the struggle that I've been having with my on-again, off-again blogging. I'm in a season where I feel like God is really, really calling me to learn the lessons that He's trying to teach me, that I need to do less blogging, more living. but I want to continue sharing with you the things that I am learning as I go along. I did a little bit of research this morning, and I looked up the median income of a family in Raleigh, North Carolina, and it confirmed what I thought I already know. Our family is the middle of the middle class. I mean, we are right smack dab in the middle. And so what that said to me is that I have a life with not a lot of financial worries. My needs are taken care of for the most part. I don't have every desire of my heart, and what I find as I reflected on the fact that we're right in the middle like that I do is that sometimes I look at the people with less than me, and I have a thankful heart for what God has given me. But a lot of times what I do is I focus on the people that have more than me, and it makes me feel like I don't have enough. And that's the place that I've lived a lot, is feeling a sense of lack instead of a sense of thankfulness. But I was reminded as I did some reading that it's just such a wrong perception. That as I read, I realized that our family has more wealth than 99% of the people in the world. 99%. Our family, it may be just average right here in Raleigh, North Carolina, but when I think about not just my community, but the whole planet and everybody here, we fall in the top 1% of the wealthiest people in the world. And that challenges me. I think this sweep in the church that it asks us to consider our resources is right. That it's not a poverty gospel. I don't think that God is calling us back to being monks and taking vows of poverty, of wearing horsehair shirts and flagellating ourselves on the back. I don't think that's it at all. But I do think that God is calling the church, and more specifically calling me and calling our family to take a look at the blessings that we've been given, at the resources that we've been given, both in money and in time. And He's asking us, do you think it was all given to you for you? That's the bottom line, is that most of my life I've seen my resources as a blessing for me, and that's changing. And so I'm going to be sharing on this journey what God is teaching me. And I hope that you'll come on this journey with me. I'll be here about once a week. And I'm only going to talk about the things that I'm actually doing. I'm not going to write about things I'm not doing anymore, because it was making me sick of myself. And so I hope you'll come on this journey with me. I would love for you to share what God is showing you, revealing to you, ideas that you have for giving and getting outside the walls of the church and really living out Jesus and helping and reaching out to hurting people in our community and in the world. I look forward to being on this trip with you. It should be a trip. And I look forward to continuing to share life together with you on this blog.